driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It is also Veterans Day. It is. I'm trying to remember everything that I've done. Okay. I gotta go to Facebook. I'm not awake yet. Phew. Phew. Oh, thank you. I'm allergic to waking up and being in a good mood. All right. Yeah. Oh, man. It's kind of I wasn't feeling good all weekend. I'm still not quite there. I was good most of the day yesterday until towards the end of the day. It was that blocked field goal. That was it. I laughed for like 20 minutes. It was just, and I laughed because my wife and I didn't believe we were going to win that game. And then we started to win it. And then I got some hope. And then that was all over with. It's just football. All right. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. I'm talking about because Amber's here. And she's a Chiefs fan. It was a fun game to watch. I did notice how mopey the Chiefs get when they're losing, though. God, how mopey. Man. I'm not going to talk about the bullshit calls. There was some. Sure there was. Always is. Yeah. I'll let you know when it's a bad call. When they don't show the replay. If they don't show the replay, doesn't matter. All right. We're going to be in the 12 by 12. And we showed that the Chiefs could possibly be beat. You know, if it wasn't for the program, I'd probably be it was a good game until we had to see her fucking face. Actually, I've become a Swiftie. I don't listen to any of her music, but I have become a Swiftie. Gotta admit it. Doesn't mean I want her at my fucking football games, though. I'm old-fashioned. I don't even want the women on the sidelines. All right. But who am I? You know, 12 by 12, 103, 104. All right. It's supposed to be fun, and it was. So, you know, I've been trying to avoid step 11, and guess where it put me? Okay, God. I'm like, I'm going to take a random reading. I'm in step 11. Oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. Here's the front page of my 12 by 12. It fell off. Oh, my God. Good morning, Leisure. Do you know why Valley girls use 2 types of contraceptives? To be like, for sure. That's an old joke. Here's another one. This one was funny. Oh, it was gone. It's gone. I guarantee you. I love Mel Robbins. Online, every time, and she talked about stay offline online. You know, there's another one. He said he was talking to his therapist, and his therapist says you always seek out people that are sick that need help. And he said, well, you do too. Right? I'm on a roll here. You know what you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Ground beef. I have other cow jokes, but yeah, I'm not comfortable telling them here. Let's just say the punchline was beef stroganoff. You can figure it out. I I don't know why I'm in such a good mood. Everything's fucking overwhelming today, so I don't know. There's a lot. I posted what we were doing in next door, and a lot of people are jumping on board. I've got like a bunch of emails and things like that of people that want to donate. So now I gotta get a donation list up, and there's like 50 million things that need to be fucking done now, especially the location. And I'll tell you something, the people that are helping, I ain't got enough time from them yet. No, but I can't bug them, so I'm in a bit of a I'm in a situation. So we'll figure it out. Okay. All right. I haven't even done introductions yet. I was too busy telling jokes. Welcome to the Daily Trudge, which is now on all health clinics. I keep writing them. They're like, surprise, you're on all health clinics. I write back, I'm like, I'm not a health clinic. Can you take me off? If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. And what we really want to know is, what did the farmer say to the calf? Moo? My wife said he said moo. Gotta wait on that answer. There's a 12-second lag here. So I'm just covering for the 12 seconds and the time that it takes for leisure to type this out. You should put the punchline right after in this. You should know this. I'm going to get started, and hopefully we'll get a answer on that. All right. So if you'd like to follow along, I'm on page 103 in the big book. I'm sorry, in the 12 by 12. It's past your bedtime. We're just doing dad jokes right now. We're just doing dad jokes. So it is definitely the YouTube hour, because hardly anybody watches me on Facebook anymore. So, all right. Of course, it is reasonable and understandable that the question is often asked. Good morning, Daryl. We're telling some dad jokes if you want to tell a dad joke. Last one was, it keeps doing crap, dude. Here, let's do this. Hold on. No, it keeps, I had to do something. It's not giving me the, there it is. Okay. It keeps changing this. There you go. Yeah, the whole restream thing changed, and then the channel I was using wouldn't let me rename it anymore because it had done something yesterday. So I had to create a new channel again. Yeah, it's gonna fuck up my podcasting. It has caused a bunch more work. So that's the one for this one. I apologize. Honestly, I didn't think you were up. Of course, is it reasonable and understandable that a question is often asked, why can't we take a specific and troubling dilemma straight to God and in our prayer secure from him sure and definite answers to our requests? Oh, I think what we're really saying here is, why does God not give us instant gratification? That's what we just asked. We're asking why. Whose time? Whose time, whose will? Not whose will, it's whose will. There's no will here. We're talking about God's will. Love you. Hold on. Please be careful. All right. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Sisters asked me what I'm doing for Thanksgiving, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know that I want to come hang out with family this Thanksgiving. Huh? When was the last time I was invited to Thanksgiving? Long time ago. Now all of a sudden, yeah. What they're saying is, hey, would you like us to come to Thanksgiving because Dad won't be there? And I think my answer is probably going to be no. No, no. I haven't talked to my wife about it yet. So,
Hey,
hey, hey,
happy
hey,
Veterans
hey,
Day.
hey. Happy Vets Day. I didn't know it was Veterans Day until I woke up this morning. This can be done, but it has its hazards. We have seen AAs ask with much earnestness and faith for God's explicit guidance on matters ranging all the way from shattering domestic or financial crisis to correcting minor personal fault, like tardiness. Or sometimes we ask for money, or sometimes we ask that our favorite football team win. We ask God for a lot of things that are just fucking useless. I tell people, God doesn't do money or football. Doesn't do it. Okay.
He
God did
relieves the fear
money.
of not having it.
Yeah. There you go. He'll relieve that fear. Sure he will. But when I find that when I go to God with specific things, it isn't so much that I'm not being answered, is that now my focus is going to be entirely on that. That's all my focus will be on. Instead of saying, God, it'd be cool if this was going on, even though you're probably not going to get it. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm willing to walk through this hard thing. Okay. And that's when that's when I start getting answers to my questions. Um, Quite often, however, the thoughts that seem to come from God are not answers at all. God told me, sometimes, there are things that run through my mind. I'm like, is that God? And I check with other people because a lot of times, yeah, it is God, but I still got to check. I still got to check. And God does not talk directly to me. I get intuitions, I get epiphanies, I get things like that, but there's no voice inside my head that's all booming. Dion, today you will be doing this, and this. Yeah, just,
Noah, how long
yeah,
can you tread water?
yeah, exactly. You know, he picks certain people, but I don't want them. I'm not one of them.
I told you what
So
would happen if I ever heard a booming voice come out of the sky.
I'd be checking
And,
myself into a fucking placement immediately.
right. Y'all would be needing to do a 12 step on me.
Yeah, drug test me at that point, please. They prove to be well-intentioned, unconscious rationalizations. Or what people like to say is, I do the next right thing. That's usually what they say. Oh, I just do the next right thing. You know, that just feels so flimsy to me. And it doesn't, I don't know what the next right thing is. And therefore, you probably don't either. And why is my,
I think your gut tells you whatever you're doing is right or wrong.
repeat that?
I said, I think your gut or our gut tells us whether something that we're doing is right or wrong.
Yeah. What our intentions are if we're willing to take a look at our intentions, but people that say things like I just do the next right thing do not check their intentions. They don't they're not thinking, and that's part of the problem. We have to think on these things. You know, today I'm trying to figure out what's the next best step for the houses. Because I don't know. So I asked God this morning for some guidance, and who knows what's going to happen. supposed to have a talk with a judge today, though. Huh? Like, she's not really she is a judge, but she's more my friend than a judge. But she'll be able to answer some questions for me and stuff. So,
Nice to have a conversation with a judge, just to have a conversation with a judge, rather than
yeah,
turning your will and your life over to the care of one.
yeah, exactly. Here's some of the things like this guy or this person. Where was it? It was yesterday. Because this person reached out and they wanted to help. They are in recovery in addiction, and they work with the federal prison system. I wrote back and said, we have some things going on about prisons. I'd like to start some inmate prison with cats and stuff like that. And we will be having a house for the prisons that'll come up. She said, we need time. I'm actually the coordinator of FIDO's Federal Institution Dog Obedience School. So it's right on track. God always sends me the right people. And that's just because I went on Nextdoor and said, hey, we're doing this in the neighborhood. But the reason that I went to Nextdoor and did that was because then maybe I can find a neighborhood and some neighbors that appreciate what we're doing. That way we don't have to fight them. And I'm just trying to put that word out more and see what God will bring to us on it. Right? He may not bring anything. Actually, that's not true. They've already brought 2 or 3 people. So I brought up in the little chat, they're like, yeah, Step Denver is a really good program for things. I'm like, yeah, we're basing, I was a client when it was Step 13. And yeah, so the Phoenix concept was an improvement from Step 13. That's where he stole it from. He stole it from Step 13 and just kind of built on it a little bit more is all he did. But they were really, Ray and the guy that ran it were good friends, man. And when one didn't work out there, there were always people coming back from Step 13 in Phoenix all the time. We did meetings together. It was it's still a great program. In fact, it might be, maybe we need to reach out to Step Denver and say, hey, this is what we're doing and we'd like to help you since you helped me 35 years.
Yeah, that would be a conversation. Just to see where they're at, because they're not the old Step. It's different.
It is different now. Now I think, just like the Phoenix concept was actually bought by state of Colorado.
Exactly.
Even though that was like the last thing in the world we fucking wanted. Now it's in some hoity-toity, who knows? I said that they were like, oh, you're alumni and we want you to come out the new and
I know that Ray and Gautier got along, but Gautier was what's the right word? Everybody wants to say jealous, envious.
He was. There were a lot of people envious of Ray. I get a lot of pushback because Ray was a my way or highway person. He was a dick. Okay, but if you want to come out and hang around the Phoenix concept and do what we did, you had to be a dick. There was no other way. You had to shake these people into fucking sobriety, man. At the same time, Gautier was a little bit softer of a hand, right?
Outwardly.
We needed both. We needed both. We need the person that says my way or the fucking highway. And then we need the person that says, hey, not quite that. Maybe we try this. So the other person over here, because who's the my way or highway person around here? Well, that would be me. Because I'm starting that, right? But is it? No, because we take votes. We do this. There were some ways that Ray was wrong. There was. But that's why I'm going to take him to the crew.
Well, we're drunks. Of course that was that way. I mean, Gautier was more amicable to people. His wife, not so much.
Yeah. Actually, I was there for 2 weeks, and they came to me and said, if we would have known you were 18, we would have never let you in.
Really?
They never asked me how old I was. Because I acted much older.
I don't remember them being 21 or older.
It was still, well, that wasn't the thing. You know, scrap heap of life, chronic alcoholic, and I did not fit that. I didn't fit that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted trench coats and baggy people.
Yeah. Yep. I was not there, even though I was drinking out of the same fridges as the rest of them. But, you know, the AA, or indeed any man who tries to run his life rigidly by this kind of prayer, is by his self-serving demand of God for replies, is particularly disconcerting individual. To any questioning or criticism of his action, he instantly proffers his reliance upon prayer for guidance in all matters, great or small. He may have forgotten the possibility that his own wishful thinking and human tendency to rationalize have distorted his so-called guidance. In other words, I hear them saying is, you can pray and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray, but if you ain't listening, then it's not going to do you much good. If I have nothing but incessant demands for God all day long, then that's all I'm going to be, is incessant demands. And maybe I need to stop demanding and start requesting. Yeah. We all
It's all about the approach.
Yeah. Absolutely it is. I agree. With the best of intentions, he tends to force his own will into all sorts of situations and problems with the comfortable assurance that he is acting under God's specific direction.
Okay.
I'm laughing because we've been there.
Yeah. I just had a whole vision while you were reading that. I just had this whole scenario vision.
Yeah, I flashed back a little bit. Sure. Under such illusion, he can, of course, create great havoc without in the least intending it. I'm going to do the next right thing. What was your situation? I don't remember mine. I just know that I did that. I know that it described me on a little bit there. Yeah, that happened to me about 5 years ago, man. You bet. And the result was Dion had to make amends to people he didn't like. But I did it. I did it. I got cut off, blah, 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 blah. And they were creating division, but I jumped on the game and did it too. And I created division. And it doesn't matter if they were creating division or not. I was doing it. It was my side of the street. So I made my amends, and then I fucking disappeared.
You talking about in a group scenario, or with a group of people, or like on a one-on-one?
These were individuals.
My father stood behind me through all my shit. I mean, they actually pulled the rug out from underneath me.
Okay.
So I wasn't being rescued anymore. They figured somebody's got in their ear. Yeah. But through thick and thin, jail, the whole 9 yards. But after I got sober, I started pounding on him about his drinking, and stone cold sober, he threw me out of his house, said, "Get out of here with that shit."
Yeah.
Because of my approach.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
2 years later, asked me to take him to a meeting, but still.
Yeah. Nobody likes to be told what to do, and I'm certainly sure that my higher power doesn't appreciate me telling them what to do when they know better.
Well, I certainly didn't want to be told what to do when I was still in my cups.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I still don't like it. I'm a little bit open-minded and willing to listen. There again, it depends on the approach. You approach me with a little bit of kindness and respect, I'm gonna listen to you. Now, here's the thing: I'm still gonna listen, but it's gonna take me a little bit longer because I'm gonna have to get over, being offended and things like that.
I
But I
kind
could
of
really
run
work through it and see if there was a true answer in there.
I kind of dig my heels into the sand, even like with my father-in-law.
Okay.
Now he's set in his ways, and it's like, nah, that dog don't hunt for me.
Nah. Yeah, there's some things where I say that I'm set in my ways, but change is always inevitable, man. And if I really do want to help people, then I need to meet them where they're at. So yeah, I'm stuck in some of my ways, but those are my ways, and they don't need to follow what I do. So, and
Yeah,
that can allow me to meet them where they're at to help them more.
I try to. I try to be the student, always willing to be the student. Not always the case.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what, I'll go ahead and try that, see what happens, but
Well, a leader is still a type of student.
well, of
You
course
can
they have
lead
to
and
be.
learn at the same time.
Well, if you're going to lead, you need to get in there and roll up your sleeves and get your fingernails dirty.
We're leading right now by example. Certainly we are, by coming
Yeah,
on
like
here and saying what we do. But the main thing is this: is after we're done, there's going to be action after this. It's going to be about what we talked about. Yeah, there'll be action. Every single person here will be like, "Oh, okay, you have to remember, God, I got to get to work on time. Well, leave early. No, that's not the answer. Wake up early. No, you just do what I say. This is what we're talking about. The fighting, the waking up. Man, like you ever wake up in the morning and like, the coffee pot's broke. This isn't working. Oh, it's just going to be a bad day. And before you know it, it's just a bad day because I made
oh
the
yeah,
decision that
I
it's
talked
going to be a
myself
bad
into it. I created my reality.
day. Yeah. When all that happened was live. Well,
Right.
Dion, you knew your coffee pot was going out a month ago and you did nothing about it. I let it last 30 more days and you did nothing, dude. That's actually the problem. Okay.
That actually
Go
is
to
so
replace
true
it
sometimes.
and you didn't listen. And there's the consequence. You got to go to Sevi for your coffee today. And even then, it's going to be a week before I buy that damn coffee pot because I'm just mad that it broke.
It's only after that thing is in pieces because I took it apart to try to fix it.
I'll do that first. Yeah. Well, we also come from a generation where you try and fix it before you buy a new one. That's it. It's how we are. I mean, this whole house is MacGyvered by my wife and I. Yeah, it is.
Right.
It works.
Well, yeah, I learned that from my dad. It was always, let's fix it.
Someday, yeah, sometimes you got to fix it first, but sometimes that could be our old mentality.
I think that might be genetic because my dad told me a story where my grandfather had bought a car and my grandmother was she had planned on going out on a Sunday drive type of deal. And she went out to find out what my grandfather was doing because he wasn't in the house. And he had the engine torn in parts because he was trying to figure out how things worked.
Yeah,
Her new car.
her new car.
And like a 1939 something or another. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. When it's around the house, I think it's your house. So fixing your own house has, you have 6 VHS players. Yeah, you're not. Do you know how to fix a VHS player? I don't. I'm curious if you do, because if you do, I know plenty of people that need them fixed.
I do actually.
Mine works. So
Because because of that scenario that she just talked about. Yeah, I had my youngest son one time put a grilled cheese into the slide
oh, nice.
one time, so couldn't. Yeah, I had to get in there and clean it up and all that other shit. So anyway,
Hmm. Ugh. We fall into another similar temptation. We form ideas as to what we think God's will is for other people. Mm.
Oh my God, yes.
Well, you only need one VHS player. So why don't you
Do you
just
actually need a VHS player?
maybe you could take all of them, find out, take the least unfixed one, which will be the one without power, and just replace the damn cord. I bet it'll work. All right. She was just leading up to a joke. Listen, Daryl, our VHS guy. I'm Daryl. I'm a recovering alcoholic and VHS tape player, uh, maintenance.
And my favorite song is "Living in the Past."
Yeah. You have 3 rooms with TV. Then you. All right. We say to ourselves, this one ought to be cured of his fatal malady, or that one ought to be relieved of his emotional pain. And we pray for these specific things. A bulk deal. There's a bulk deal for you, but not for him. Oh, you're so funny. Right? This one ought to be relieved of his emotional pain, and we pray for these specific things. Well, but when I pray for him for myself and it doesn't happen, well, gee, now I'm just telling God what to do.
Is not the third step prayer a selfish prayer?
Yes, it is.
Are you not asking God for everything?
Absolutely, you are. According to how he would do it.
So that I can be a better help to others.
Yeah.
But you're asking for him to fix your shit.
Not to fix your shit, to provide you with what you need in order to fix it.
That's a perception, interpretation.
Yeah, because see, I hear what you're saying and I agree, but that's not my route.
Grant me victory over my difficulties.
Because the way that I see that is asking God to remove anything that doesn't account for helping anybody else for the day, so that I can be clear-headed and help more. That's how
if you go verbatim, you're asking him to take away all your difficulties so that you can use that as a demonstration to others that he is all or nothing.
That's right. And that's why the third prayer is set up the way it is, so that when you go into the fourth step, yeah. But in the beginning, that's kind of what it was for me, is just trying to get closer to the sunlight of the Spirit. But yeah, we're talking about everything, because in the beginning, I don't know what's wrong or right, good or bad. All my best thoughts got me here. Even when I was well-intentioned, I was very selfish self. Because that is selfish, but it's a good kind of selfish.
You pray for the third step prayer so that you can get the 9-step promises.
No, that is what happens.
That is what happens.
All right, I need to finish this up. My wife's car.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
No, you don't say sorry. You didn't know, but her car's. I was the last one to use it, so I think I'm the one that did something. Your car's not starting. There's reasons for everything. Something in my gut this morning said she does not need to go to work today. It was just something in my gut. God was not speaking to me, that I know.
So she's sitting there patiently waiting for you to end this live so she can go to work?
No.
Okay.
I don't know how to fix cars, but I can go support her. I tell you now, it's not the battery. It's not the battery. Who knows? Like I just said, I don't know cars, but
does it turn over? Never mind. Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm down here. This means that side by side with an earnest prayer, there could be
more will be revealed.
Yeah, when I get there, I'll know more. You're right.
Oh, wow.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Drink coffee. I hear you. It's all right. This means these AAs experience that, particularly in these cases, we ought to pray that God's will, whatever it is, be done for others as well as ourselves. So, all right, I'm gonna go help her out, and then I think today might be a good day for you and I to talk and catch up on a lot of this and see where we're at. And
Whenever you want,
we're a
and
little
that's
bit
fine.
tired. Yeah.
I gotta run. I gotta run. I gotta go to the doctor's office and what have you. But that doesn't mean I can't talk. So
Sounds good, man. All right.
anytime.
Well, I'll text you first.
Yeah, that always works.
Yep. Just make sure you're available. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Peace.